You're watching the TC MMA podcast.
Now, as you work your way up into the co-main event, at least for right now, this is an interesting one. Kai Kara-France versus Steve Erceg. And Steve Erceg just fought for the title, right? And couldn't get the job done. But Kai Kara-France is 24-11, staple of the division, right? Always a problem. Steve Erceg 12-2. I mean, these are two guys that are very capable of winning this fight, as you see up and down this card. You've heard me say that a lot in this show, right? This is another one where it could really go either way. So let's get into it right now. In the flyweight division at UFC 305, you got a good one here. Kai Kara-France comes in at 24-11, taking on Steve Erceg, who comes in at 12-2, and coming off his first loss in his UFC career, I might add. Now, Erceg's going to be taller by 4 inches. He's 5'8". Kara-France 5'4". He's 28. France 31. France has a 1-inch reach advantage. Both guys stand right-handed. Both guys right at 4.5 significant strikes per minute. Steve Erceg leads the way on the ground with more than one takedown over the course of 3 rounds. But Kara-France, 88% takedown defense, makes it interesting. But he's coming off back-to-back losses. Split decision versus Amir Albazi, and a KO loss to Brandon Moreno. His last win was against Askar Askarov by unanimous decision. That was in 2022. So it's been over 2 years since he's had a victory. Now, Steve Erceg on the other end, 60% takedown defense. That'll be okay here. He lost a decision to Alexander Pantoja. Just couldn't defend the takedowns, right? 9 takedowns, and he trailed 125-111 versus Pantoja. But it's amazing that he gave up 8 more takedowns and only trailed by 14 significant strikes. So it goes to show you he's not far off. Just has to work on the takedown defense. Before that, he KO'd Matt Schnell, beat Alessandro Costa by decision, and also beat David Dvorak by decision. And this is going to be one of those interesting fights because Erceg's not as good as Pantoja, but is he better than Kara-France? I mean, the guy's got 11 losses, but a wealth of experience. And I think this is one of these fights where Steve Erceg is going to feel a little pressure. He's got to win this fight. He can't fall off that quickly. He's still just 28 years old. He's on the rise, right? I don't think he's going to get knocked down here by Kara-France, even though Kara-France has 35 fights under his belt compared to 14 for Erceg. Look for a potential slow start in the first round, but Erceg will pick it up later in the round and also win rounds 2 and 3. So I think he's going to get the decision victory here, in my opinion, both in significant strikes and control time. Although Kara-France can defend the takedowns. But in my opinion, Steve Erceg gets the win by decision that way to move to 13-2, flyweight division, UFC 305. And I say by decision because a lot of times these fights in the flyweight division go to a decision. It makes it very tough to predict. And I would honestly say behind the lightweight division, it's the second hardest division to make predictions because 1 through 10, there's not much difference. Pantoja's risen to a different level, but 1 through 10, there's not much of a difference. But we'll lean towards Steve Erceg to get the job done here. I just don't, he's 28 years old. He's going to be better and better every time out, and to fight for the title this early in his career is a good thing. But again, the pressure's on because you just fought for the title. You can't lose the next time out. You're not trying to go down. You're trying to get back to the title, right? And next time he faces Pantoja, if he can keep winning, he's going to be 30, 31 years old. He's going to be right in the prime. And, he could still win the title. That's how good Steve Erceg is. I mean, this guy could still win the title. Make no mistake about it.
He's gon' fight, wait, he's gon' fight, wait, hold your breath till the end of the night. Last fighter call, UFC at its height, yeah. Bringing that thunder with all his might, saying step up, wanna fight, hold up, think twice, gladiator assassin, reckless no abandon, walk through that cage, he'll leave your ass